Today we'll be making a cutting board to match a bar set that we're making, and right now I'm just cutting the pieces into usable pieces. We're going to make it out of purple heart, walnut, and hard maple. After they're kind of cut down to size, I take them over to the joiner so I can make everything square and flat. And then once everything is square and flat, I can then take those pieces and run it through the planer to make sure everything is flat and parallel on both sides, which makes it much easier to work. Once this is true, I cut everything into strips and then glue them up. The hard maple I actually cut on the bandsaw and then made them flat on the drum sander, which I don't normally do, but I did on this one. Once everything's glued up, the glue's dry, I like to just scrape the glue off. One, it's super rewarding, and it makes the planer blades last a little bit longer. So then after it's done, I run it through the planer, then I take it to the table saw, even out the edges. And I don't need my cutting boards to be exact, so I just use a quarter to just rough out where I want the corners to look, take it to the oscillating spindle sander, and then after the corners are there, I run it through the drum sander with 150 grit, just to save myself some sanding effort. And then I take it over and route over the edges, smooth them over with a little sandpaper, and then do a lot more sanding. So I start at 150 again, hit to 220. Once it's at 220, I take a little bit of water, and I spray that on there so that the grain on the wood will raise up, so it won't do it when I put the finish on. And then I sand it down some more at 220 until it's nice and smooth. Once it's smooth, I put on mineral oil to start, and I let it soak in for a while. Once that soaks in, I have a mineral oil and beeswax homemade combination. I let it sit for hours, if not overnight. Then after it sits for a while, I buff off all the extra, and then you have it. It's a cutting board, all finished.